You did. What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. I was doing a whole bunch of talking and the mic was not on. I was like, where are you guys? Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for coming on tonight. We are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville, episode 29. And welcome all of those in the chat. All of you in the chat, welcome to everybody who has joined the channel. Be a subscriber, hit the like button, please. Thank you to all of the mods that showed up for me tonight. Nola Darling, Ty, what is up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys, we're going to get started on this. But first, I'd like to give you a shout out just to make sure you can hear me. So go ahead and drop your city and or state in the chat. I'll call you out real fast. And then we're going to get started on tonight's episode, okay? Hey, what is up, everybody? Gemini, Tony, what's going on? Let's see. Anybody that you see with a wrench behind their name, they are a moderator, and they're here to make sure that you guys have a good time in the chat, okay? Anyone that you see with a star behind their name, that little circle, they are a member. So you can become a member as well. I'm going to get the chat, going to get the invite up in a second along with the chat. So come on in. Hey, everybody. Okay, I see Bermuda, Alabama. Let's see, Bay City. What's up, Bay City, Texas? Indy, Be More, what is up? I see Flint, Michigan, New York. Hey, hey, hey. Philadelphia, Huntsville in the house. What is up? All right. Hey, everybody. Philly, Michigan, H-Town, DMV. What is going on? Okay, you guys. Thank y'all. I appreciate you. So I'm not going to stay on this camera for long. Let me get my thing down. What's up, everyone? Okay. Sometimes I'm way too close to this camera. I know it. I try to pull back a little bit, but I can't see. I'm reading the chat on the side, so sometimes I lean up to read it. Okay. But everybody else, come on in. Welcome, members. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you guys had an opportunity to watch the show, okay, I would like to know your thoughts. They took it back to the old school. Did y'all see that? So before, the way they wanted to bring the show to us is they was going to have all the friend groups or the couples sit down and talk over dinner or drinks or whatever. And they were going to talk about their relationships. And we haven't seen that in a little while. So they ended up bringing it to us again tonight. And everybody, well, not everybody, because we didn't hear a whole lot from Chris and Neil, but everybody else was kind of, talking about the couples. Yeah, they sure did. That's right. They brought it back. And then the ladies went to have a little sidebar to talk about the men and the relationships. And then the men went and had a sidebar. So I enjoyed it. I like to hear them talk about and Mel called. She has some things to say. Okay. She has some things to say, but I actually liked it. I like that they forced them to address it. I think that, definitely there was some setup scenes, right? And they probably were like, listen, this is all the stuff that keeps coming up. And if you guys want to kill the noise, you're going to have to be honest about these conversations. So I like the way they did it, y'all. Come on in. 214 of you have joined the chat. Make sure that you hit the like button. Okay. Where is my sister? Oh, she's probably watching. She's watching, I'm sure. I talked to her for a little bit. She was telling me her thoughts on everything. There were some things she felt very strongly about. I will say that. But yeah, it was pretty good. So if you had an opportunity to watch the show, put a 1 in the chat. And if you did not watch it, you're just listening to the review, put a 3 in the chat. And then we can get started. We're going to talk about this, okay? We're going to get started. I know a lot of you have things to say. So go ahead and tell me what you're feeling about the show. Okay, a lot of ones. All right, almost all ones, y'all. Good. Good to know. Okay. 1, 3, that's all I see. Okay, well, we're going to get started on this review. We're going to get started on the review. Y'all can talk to me in the chat while I'm talking. I'll read some comments as we go along, but we're going to get this crack-a-lackin', okay? I like the show. I give it a 1, or well, I should say I give it a 1. I'm going to give this episode an 8. I'll give it an 8. But listen, it starts at the house in Houston, right? They're making dinner. Um, we get to see a more fun side to Chris, right? Chris is again very quiet, usually very introspective, right? He listens a lot, doesn't pay attention. Someone else is giving the show an 8. He's not trying to, pop off too much, but he looked like he was there to have a good time. He was feeling himself. So yeah, they call everyone down to dinner, right? Or call them from their rooms to dinner. And once they get to the table, they seem to be having a good time. They asked if there was seating assignments. They said no seating assignments. Y'all can sit wherever you like. And then we get to rehash Maurice and Kimmy. Now, this maybe was a little more of a deep dive. I guess they felt like whatever they did when they had their one-on-one wasn't enough. So we got a little bit more of a deep dive into the whole roll over and suffer through it conversation. Marie said, I thought it was a joke and that I was really, playing around with Carlos King or trying to make him feel a certain way. And I was like, you didn't see Carlos King's face? His eyes were open big, like, what the hell am I watching? We all know that this is going to be a problem. He took way too long to apologize. He doubled down on it when he went on another YouTube platform that, has a lot of viewers. And again, went out of his way to just be as nasty as can be. And now Kimmy is saying, I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel protected as a wife. And not only did I not feel protected as a wife, I think she may have said this later in the show, but she said, I've watched you protect your ex-wife, Kiowa. And when I mention it to you, your answer to me is, she is the mother of my child. And she was like, what the hell am I? I'm supposed to be your life partner. We're supposed to be in this until death. So what am I doing here? This is the worst feeling ever. Well, there were people at the table asking questions, including Melody, like, yeah, that was weird, bro. Like, then Melody tried to kind of save it a little bit. She was like, there's things that we say, but was it coming from your heart? Like, was that really what you felt in your heart? And everybody is just kind of sitting there looking crazy. In fact, I think it was Marceau who started off the conversation and said, y'all call me the bad brother, like I'm insensitive. No, child. Clearly, Maurice is coming around the corner and taking the lead, okay? So Maurice wasn't that much better in an apology. He was like, yeah, I really did drop the ball, but I didn't feel it. And Kimmy has always said that Maurice thinks a certain way that's completely different from how she thinks. Even when she tries to show him it's wrong, he doesn't get it. And she said, maybe if he really sees this, like if he watches the show, he'll get it. I still don't think he got it, period. I don't think he got it. I think that Kimmy and Maurice are in a really sensitive place in their relationship, in my opinion. But then Stormy and Courtney ends up walking in, and you could tell that Stormy really didn't want to be there. Courtney was like, y'all lucky we here. At least we did it, okay? Because it was one of those things that we could have just, stayed at home. The babysitter had missed her flight. They were late. They get there, they eat a little bit. They get a call saying that the babysitter's there, and it looked like Stormy was like, that's my sign, bro. I'm getting the hell up out of here. She jumped up quick. They were like, you leaving? She was like, yeah, girl, gotta go. I'm tired. They were like, you're not even staying at the house. She said, I already got a hotel. It would not be fair to have the baby stay here. So no, we're not staying at the house. They start making jokes like, well, you don't want to leave the baby here for Marceau? And Marceau makes a face like, Tisha, what did you tell them? Right? Tisha, what did you tell them? It was pretty funny, actually. But, and they do this whole thing where it's like a flashback of crazy for Marceau, because Marceau has given us a lot of crazy, right? But Courtney says, you don't even want to keep your own damn kids. So no, you can't keep mine. And they walk out the house. That was crazy. That was funny. Stormy just needs to leave the show. Okay. Listen, there's a lot of people coming for Stormy. Why must they feel lucky that Stormy came? I don't know if they felt lucky, but it's one of those things. It's one of those things. She has a baby. Y'all remember when Kenya had her baby and she was going on trips on Real Housewives of Atlanta. People felt a way about her being able to come or not come. So she had a little bit of baggage to carry. But anyway, after he says, you don't keep your own damn baby, so you definitely aren't keeping mine, Marceau starts having a flashback, right? And then he says, you know, the whole thing about Tisha. Tisha, did you tell him what happened earlier? And then Tisha repeats it. She said, listen, I took a pregnancy test. What's the big damn deal? This is my husband. I was feeling sick. I actually had the same symptoms I had when I was pregnant last time. And Marceau said that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. You should have never had a pregnancy test knowing I had a vasectomy. And then we get a flashback of every rumor that's ever been told about Marceau stepping out, and every ignorant comment that Marceau has ever made, also every excuse that Marceau has ever made, saying that he didn't cheat, right? Or you should just trust me, Tisha, blindly, because what the hell? What have you seen me do with your own eyes, right? And they were like, Marceau, you are a hot ass mess. And Tisha said, Marceau, you're a hot ass mess. You've asked me to trust you blindly, and I have. And now you're telling me that you don't trust me, and I'm coming to you and telling you what's going on. So that was a little bit of a conversation. Anyway, they end up splitting off, right? After dinner, they end up splitting off. Ooh, you guys are hot in these comments. 362 of you are watching. Go ahead and join the chat, please, and thank you. But people are saying that Marceau is full of it. Y'all don't like Marceau. You don't like Stormy right now. Stormy's also getting hit. Okay, keep hitting that like button, though, okay? Don't just hit Stormy. Hit the like button as well. But they all split off, and that's when the girls go out to the hot tub, and they have a little bit of girl talk, and it looks like they are giving some real information about their relationship. This is where we find out just a little bit more, where Kimmy says that Maurice is a complete and total butthole, and she actually said sometimes she's looking at him like she doesn't know who he is, because he can change up on her so quick. She's like, he has this real sweet demeanor, and then all of a sudden he will say something that's like, oh my God, and I don't feel protected, right? So she says that. And then Tisha also shares, like I said, everything that I've ever done with Marceau, everything that's ever happened in our relationship, I have stood beside Marceau, looked like a damn fool, had all kinds of people coming at me from the internet. If y'all listened to my video from earlier, I told you that Letitia from Bell Collective came for her last week and said, girl, you remind me of myself. I used to be stupid like you, okay? She said, I used to be dumb just like you, but you better get smart and stop letting Marceau walk all over you. That was awful. But Tisha said, even then, I still stood beside him. Well, did you stand beside him? Did you never have a doubt about Marceau? Because I would think you did. That's why it hurt so much that you did have the doubts, and he was not helping you feel better about what was going on. Somebody said, why does Marceau care? He doesn't give a damn about Letitia. What was this scene really about? I don't like, okay. All right, I'm moving on. I'm not trying to bring the chat down too bad right now. Right now, I'm trying to keep it upbeat as much as I can. Okay. Anyway, while that's all going on, I should finish up. Melody told everybody in the group that, listen, she was married for whatever many years, 4 kids, and she ain't never, okay, had the big O with Martell. She said that he comes up short. And everybody was like, I know you damn it lying. All the stuff we seen the two of you going through, at the very least, let the eggplant be great, Melody. She said, it wasn't about the bedroom for us. And when I tell you, everybody on the cast, the ladies was just like, whoa, this is something different. We had no idea, okay? But she said no, and she let it be known, okay? She was like, Martell's bedroom game is trash. Even though he'd been, the other girls walking all up downtown and all around talking about he's eating the groceries and everything on the shelves, right? She said that's not so. She said that her love language is she liked for people to talk dirty. And then they did a flashback, and Martell said he doesn't like to do that. So no. Tisha was like, well, you didn't tell him how to move, where to hit it, and all this other stuff. She was like, no. She was like, well, it can't just be the words, Mel. Like, Tisha was really involved. And Melody said, oh, yes, it can. Okay. Don't tell me what I'm supposed to feel. I just told you how I felt. And Kimmy tried to make it all better. She interjected and said, well, Tisha, it is emotional for a lot of people. It is in the mind first. Okay. That was hilarious. But there's also a little sidebar happening with the fellas. Okay, they're all sitting around, and Marceau said, listen, at the end of the day, with all the effing mess I put Tisha through, Tisha has to be thinking about stepping out on me. Okay. Now I'm combining two conversations because there was just a lot of back and forth, but it was all going around. It was all around the same subject. So he basically said, with everything that I put Tisha through, all of the cheating rumors, pictures of backs, you name it, she has had to deal with it. And under no circumstances could Tisha be walking through this world and not have thought about cheating on me. I'm not that stupid. I got to figure this out, right? At some point, Tisha would have had to have, at the very minimum, entertained it with somebody, even if people are saying that she didn't. Okay. Keep hitting that like button on your way in, everyone. I appreciate you guys for showing up. 450 of you are watching. So make sure that you hit the like button, please, and join the chat. Okay. Hit the subscribe button too and join the chat. He did not deny anything. That's right. I didn't see him deny not one word, but he made it a point of saying he's not dumb. He's not dumb. And for Tisha to be where she is in life right now, him thinking that she hasn't been talking to somebody else because he's neglected her. Let's face it. He's neglected her, and he's also taken her for granted. Then he said that's where he is right now. Martell seemed to encourage him to think that his wife was cheating, whereas Chris was like, I don't even know how you got here. Like, this is just, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So she took the test. Let's see. I don't think that Chris was feeling that conversation either. She said that she didn't cheat, which is more than what he's ever done. I agree. She said that she didn't cheat, right? And like you said, Chris was like, I'm watching a bunch of fools right now. Everybody's sitting here trying to make Tisha out to be a cheater, but Marceau basically pushing all of his, insecurities off on Tisha lets us know that he's guilty of something, period. Because if his wife came to him and said that I'm pregnant, you would just be like, well, girl, I had a vasectomy, right? So what are you talking about? And then you have the conversation. I'm not. But he feels like Tisha's playing mind games with him, that she's gaslighting him. And he said, you know who I am. So the second you told me, you should have known what my response was going to be. I didn't change. I've never changed on you, Tisha. So there's that. But Tisha ended up sleeping outside in a different room, and Marceau stayed by himself. While Tisha walks outside, her brother-in-law, Maurice, catches up with her. And she says, he's trying to talk to her about it. Like, well, Tisha, I understand where you're coming from. You just got to keep in mind where he's coming from. And she said, whatever, I could care effing less. Okay. Now in confessional, Martell says, listen, Tisha got that new body. She looking good. She dresses better than she used to. If Marceau doesn't want her to cheat, he going to have to make sure he puts her back in the house. That's what he said. It was actually funny. So there's that. Okay. And then we get this phone call from Kiki. She calls Miss Nail and she says, hey, I hear you guys are in Houston. Can I come along? Now, Nell is like, what do you think? Tisha's going to have a problem with this. We're really trying to make sure that people come together. So what are you going to bring to the table if you come? And Kiki said, well, I'm going to apologize. And she was like, well, I'm glad to hear that. She goes out and tell her husband, who is setting up, all types of group activities, some games and stuff to help the group get along. And she lets him know, Nell lets her husband know that Kiki has invited herself, and she said yes. Now, Chris did not want that to happen at all, you guys. He said, wait a minute, what is she coming for? She said to apologize. He said, she can't wait till everybody get back to Alabama. Why is she coming here? We don't need those problems. We saw what happened at Kimmy's house. Don't want that here. And he was like, we've been having a good time, and I feel like she's going to change everything. So that's how Chris put it out there. Then he also said that, oh, I forgot to tell y'all this. Martell had a woman in the house, and he seemed to be okay with Martell bringing a woman in the house. I thought it was a little tacky. Since they are all grown, why couldn't Martell get a hotel? Why couldn't Martell go out to the car? Why would Martell bring a woman into the house? And then sex addict Maurice, at the end of the day, because Kimmy wanted everybody to think he's not really thinking about it all day and night. It's just that's how it's portrayed, and that's not true. Well, honey, it is true if he's putting you out there like that. If he's running over your name as his wife to betray, to talk about his sexual needs, then it is true. But Chris is taking Martell's side and said if Melody was bringing someone in here, he wouldn't care. Nell, on the other hand, said she thought it was tacky and no good. Okay. And I also feel that way. It just goes to show you that yet again, Martell has no self-control. All he had to do was leave. But why bring someone into the house that everybody's staying in? That's the cast house. But anyway, that's pretty much how that ends. We get some previews for next week, and it doesn't look like it's going to be that great, but I guess that's where it all goes down. We will see. Oh, I forgot to talk about his wearing the wedding ring. You guys, you know what? I talked about that scene so much, I forgot. But Martell is at the table, at the dinner table, and he lifts his finger up and shows everyone that he's wearing the wedding ring. Okay. That's when people chime in and start saying, oh my God, not the wedding ring. Is that the same ring? Even Kimmy, who's sitting right beside Melody, had no ability to read the room, no ability to read Melody's emotions. She turns to her and say, is that the same ring that you put on his finger? And Mel said, I don't know. I didn't look at it. And you can tell she is stiff as a board. Like, what are you doing to me right now? But the only person who was astute enough to recognize Melody's energy was Marceau. Now, y'all got to go back and check my video. Marceau rescues Melody, because when I tell y'all, Marceau has rescued Melody every single time, it seems like, in some of these group settings. But at this point, he says, hey, time out, time out. He stops everybody, gets them, to pay attention to him. And he said, no, we are not going to tie Melody and Martell together. And then he said, that is Mrs. Rogers and that is Martell Holt. And everybody cracks up laughing because, listen, they all fell back into old habits, blowing smoke up Martell's hiney. But outside of that, that was the show. So I am going to drop the link, which I should have dropped a couple of minutes ago, but I'm going to drop the link because I got comments all day saying they could not wait to talk about this episode. Okay. So I can't wait for y'all to talk about it either. Here we go. Let me get this copied. All right, here you go. And y'all can tell me what y'all are thinking in the chat. Okay, so here's the link. I've pinned it to the top. And then you guys come on in and let me know what y'all think about this episode, okay? Link is pinned to the top. Hopefully that works for everybody. Marceau noticed that he has the hots for Melody and he can't keep his eyes off of her. Marceau does that to keep Tisha in her place. Oof, that's a hurtful thing for sure. Marceau have to come to Melody's rescue several times. He really has. He's done it all the time, okay? All the time. He maintains a triangulation between Tisha and Mel, and it's intentional. I thought that Tisha and Mel's energy was good this episode, y'all. She actually started laughing when he said the whole thing about Melody and Martell. She seemed like she was okay. She didn't have the stank face like she typically does. Marceau was projecting all of his insecurities and using reverse psychology on Tisha. Okay, let's see. See if y'all are coming in today. Here we go. All right. Keep coming in. I have Ty up. What's up, Ty? How are you?
Hey, Diana. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
That's good to hear. Well, I was so amped up to talk about the Kiki situation, but I got to wait on that.
Got to wait on it, child.
I got to wait on that.
What we end up seeing is Nell telling her she has to go, right?
Yeah, but editing. I know she probably was talking to her, but you know.
Did she told somebody else to go?
It's probably Martell.
Martell looks like he got to stay. But that
Okay,
is hilarious. Let's see.
so look. I'm gonna jump over the scenes. I want to get straight to this. Sometimes when I look at, how they the men operate with each other and the women, it's almost like Chris, how can I say it? When him and Nell was having a conversation about Martell bringing in that lady, that whoever it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like Chris was defending him from making him feel bad earlier, like at the, when they was at the restaurant and he said, you don't have she don't have your last name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
He
it
was
was almost
ripping.
like he had to have his back in a sense. That was the wrong time to try to have his back though, right? I think I'm with Nell. It was very disrespectful for you to bring somebody outside the group to the house.
Yeah, you didn't pay for that house, and even if you did, it was dirty. I think that you're not a child. You're in your 40s. You don't have to have your needs met like that. You could go any place. You did not have to come into the house, and that has nothing to do with Melody. I think that anybody should have felt uncomfortable. Like, what if
Right.
you left your purse outside, but you trust the group, and this fool brings somebody in that doesn't, that doesn't know what to do, huh?
That
That
I
wasn't
would.
me.
agree. Yeah.
That wasn't me.
No,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was like, I agree. Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
what are you
Oh,
saying, honey?
I
you
agree with you when you said that that person could steal. You just don't know.
I agree.
It could have
So
been a setup.
it could have been a setup. He brought someone in the house without sharing that he was bringing anyone in the house.
right.
It
Hmm.
definitely, anything could have happened. Martell didn't have to do it there. That's all I have to say. And I
And
don't like
then
that.
I'm sorry. And then for him to say, "I'm grown. I could do what I want." You sound so stupid right now. You sound so stupid. This ain't about you. This is about a cash trip that y'all on right now.
Right. I agree. I agree. So how do you feel Melody handled herself at the house?
With who?
Just period. Just
Oh, I
I know
loved it. I really,
okay.
let me tell you something. I really enjoyed um this this particular episode with this particular behavior, with this particular attitude with Mel in the group in general.
Okay.
I appreciated her checking shit right then and there.
Okay.
I also appreciated her let me see. What do you call it? Throwing slugs. I appreciated that. To Kimmy, to Tisha, I appreciated that. I appreciated how she brought up the Maurice thing when they were in the little hot tub
Okay.
about the sex and all that.
Right. So tell me what did you think about everybody's conversation? We know that you like Melody, but how did you feel about Tisha saying what she said to Marceau, that she stood beside him, and now she might have to make some different choices. What do you
Okay.
think about that?
Okay. So nah, you said earlier on your other video, the things that Stormy said about how they pre-plan these scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they be switching up when they get on set, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This probably could have been pre-planned. I'm very unsure with them because they lie so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, if it was pre-planned and Marceau didn't follow through like he was supposed to, he really hurt her feelings, like for real. She was really upset. I don't think she was fake crying. I think she was really upset.
Okay, I felt that way too. I thought that Tisha really was thinking, Marceau, you keep putting me in situations on this show.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like, where you are openly saying the opposite of what I want you to say or what you would say to me otherwise. I don't like this shit.
Right. And he 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 gaslight the piss out of her. He gaslight her so damn hard. I was like, I know you lying.
Okay.
But
Which part do you feel like he gaslighted? Just
when he was
curious.
in that bedroom, talking about the vasectomy and things like that. Now, as all these people supposedly graduated from college, they want to try to talk about probability and possibility. Listen, if it's a possibility or a probability that you could still get someone pregnant if you have a vasectomy, then it's a chance. Whether you in the knowing or not, it's a chance. If it's in the medical recordings that it's a chance, it is a chance. Now, however, I don't believe Tisha believed that she was pregnant.
I don't think she believed it, but listen, I don't think it was out of the ordinary for her to take a pregnancy test. I would like to know from the chat if y'all thought that Tisha was just stupid and should have never taken the pregnancy test. Put a 4 in the chat. And if you think that was just like a normal reaction, I feel like I could be pregnant despite my husband having a vasectomy. I'm just going to pee on this stick real quick and see what the results are. If you think that that could have been the case, go ahead, put a 6 in the chat.
4. I'm taking
4
4.
if you think it's
I'm
stupid.
saying 4.
I'm
On
taking
top
4.
of she's a dingbat.
That's
So
bullshit. That pregnancy stuff, that was bull crap.
So you guys are on Marceau's side. Is that what you're saying?
Now hold
Oh my
on.
God.
no,
Watch how you say that.
no,
You
no, no,
hold
no.
on
Okay.
hold on 1 second now.
Okay.
Watch how you say that. It's not. I'm not taking no Marceau side. Don't do that. Don't do that. What I'm saying is, the Tisha and the pregnancy test, that kind of like threw me for a loop. That threw me for a loop. I want to get back to this pool that they were in, right?
Okay.
Did you see how close Mel and Tisha was? Well, Mel was close. How
Yes.
close she was to Tisha?
I did. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how you guys felt about it. I'm going to take a poll in a second, but I actually liked the energy of all the ladies at the pool. I actually was like, I feel like this is a good vibe. I liked it.
Everybody was on their best behavior.
Everybody was on their best behavior. Even when Tisha was like, well, Melody, blah, blah, blah. Melody was like, she corrected it right away. Everybody, even Nell was like, no, like Melody, because I think she said something like, well, did you ever tell him something? And Nell was like, yeah, she always told him X, Y, and Z. I think it was the protection part. She was like, did you ever tell him that you didn't feel protected? And I remember Nell saying she did tell him. So even that, with Melody saying, I'm opening up to you guys, to the group, because that was one of the complaints. You guys that Melody didn't open up. Melody didn't open up when she was getting a divorce. So now that she's saying it, they really are in awe, like, oh my God, like, I didn't know. And she's telling it. And I like that she felt comfortable enough to say it. I also know that she needed to say some things on the show just to get it out there. And she did it. And
I like you say she was comfortable. She was comfortable because she was waiting on anybody to try to say something slick so she can check their ass right then and there, just like the Kimmy. She said something and she had to say, well, Maurice needs sex. I'm not like, that was good for Kimmy. Shut your ass up.
Okay.
Sit there, kick your feet in the water and shut up.
Okay, well, she did check Kimmy. She checked the mess out of Kimmy, and Kimmy felt it. I do believe. Good. But I also feel like at that point, Melody is more comfortable. And that's what we want to see. Previously, she was not comfortable. She didn't feel comfortable talking to them. And she said that. And now she was there sharing her business.
All the ladies has control of the story that she's telling this time.
Okay. And all of the ladies sat there and they helped share, but they also let her say what she needed to say. And I liked it. I thought it was a good little scene for the girls.
I like that too. Now let me say this. Because I don't know if it was fake, if it wasn't fake, I really don't know. But what I did see, my own opinion, I don't care how much they was playing. I know Tisha had to rethink her decisions about Marceau in the moment while she was on that screen. Tisha can't really hide her inner feelings too well. I don't care how much they practice.
True. 100%.
It's just like,
100%.
you know, she thought about it. That's why she kept saying stuff to the like, I stood by you when this and that was going on, and you know, you would accuse me of cheating and all this here. Let me tell you something. I don't care how much she that fake laugh, that shit got to her. I know it did. Especially on national TV. How easy is it for their husbands, Kimmy husband and Tisha husband, to embarrass them on national TV like it ain't nothing? I know, I can only imagine what happens in real life.
No, you're right. And this just tells us exactly, again, what they actually go through at home. I really feel in this moment, I just feel like the producers did a better job of forcing them to bring some of their real story on the show so that people can watch what we all been talking about online, what we've all been talking about everywhere else. We see this stuff happening. Does this bother you or not? And if it does, talk about it.
Yeah, like Kimmy was trying to do.
Like, well,
But they weren't in
situation.
that place back then.
What you say, LaDon?
They wasn't
say,
in that place back then. She didn't trust them to talk to them about what they choose. That's not even realistic back then. Now, she's way past it. Maybe Hotel is still there, but Mel is so past that she feels more comfortable to be able to now start sharing some parts of it. But back then, I didn't expect her to. They weren't her people. They wasn't on her side. Like how Mel defended Tisha today and said, "Come on, Marcel, you know she wouldn't cheat on you. Point blank, period." None of them
Now
never
wait a
said that
minute.
about.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, LaDon. You ever heard of nice nasty sarcasm?
The point is, she did it. They never stood up for her. They didn't make a safe environment for her to be honest with them about what she was going through back then.
Oh well, yeah, I agree with that. But I'm saying when you mentioned that Mel stood up for Tisha, I said, I asked you. I said, you don't recognize nice nasty sarcasm?
But it was honest. I don't believe, even though in Diana, I tell you, I'm not a fan of Tisha at all. But I don't believe she would cheat on myself.
But Marceau said that already, right, Diana? Didn't they have a conversation about Tisha cheating on him once before?
he had that conversation online. He said there was a rumor out there that Tisha was cheating on him and that he was going to lose his mind if that was the case. Like he would be out of here in a heartbeat.
No,
He said that on
Diana.
social
We was
media.
on.
Oh,
It was on the screen when
oh,
Marceau said, "Tisha." Oh, that was on a video. A video when Marceau was on a video and said that Tisha cheated on him. Please tell me you remember that.
it was on a video. Was it a social media video and they brought it to the screen?
It was
It was
like a
Instagram.
phone or something. He was on the phone
He
and
was doing a live
he was
Instagram.
drunk.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was on Instagram. I did see that Instagram. I saw it. I saw the Instagram. I saw him say it. He was acting a fool. But the truth of the matter is, Marceau has a reputation. Okay, it is all across the United States and the 7 seas. Everybody knows it. Okay, he done went to Africa, and people in Africa now know that if he was to go back again, he's a cheater. Like everybody knows. So at
That's
the
why he
end
went to
of the day,
Colombia.
well, now we know in Colombia. Colombia's over there talking about why am I in it? Okay.
Okay, my last thing I want to talk about so I can let LaDon and the other people speak. What about
Okay.
Lil Buddy? Lil Buddy was on 10 tonight, wasn't he?
He was on 10 for
Baby,
sure.
he act like he was running the show and he had all his ducks in a row and he was the golden child, baby, the way he was talking in them confessionals.
That's right. That's right. I saw it. Yeah, he does act like he's a, you know what though? This is another good point to make. When they're all together as a group, Martell is thinking about the way life used to be.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Whereas Melody is saying right now, right here, don't put me back in this space. I don't want to be in this space. So I also wanted to
I
point that
ain't
out.
going back in that space.
I'm not going in that space, right? But she froze up when it started. I'm sure she was calculating the words she was going to say, but she had froze up. If it wasn't for Marceau saying, cut this shit out, then we have to see what was going to happen. But I'm happy that they were having a good time and they were able to leave that group, and it looked like she felt safe.
Listen, when Melody get in a back against the wall situation, she has this certain thing that she do, and is run her tongue across her teeth with her mouth closed. You ever paid attention to that?
I
That's
saw it.
that's like her
She sure
calming
does.
mechanism
Yep.
while she formulate what she gonna say next.
Yep, she has a way of doing that now. It's a thinking game, and that is important that people understand. I know, like, Stormy's still fresh and brand new, but you got to strategize while you are in the scene and it's filming. You got to be quick and you got to strategize how you're going to move next. Period, because we're still watching a TV show too. So she looks at Kimmy when she's asking her that question, and for her to even have the right mind to say, "I don't know. I didn't look at it," because somebody else might have choked Kimmy, or at the very minimum mugged her, like, "Get out of my face. What is wrong
Snatched
with
her wig off.
you?"
Snatched
Right.
her wig off.
It can happen. It can happen. It's one of those emotional moments, and it takes a lot. But I was like, oh my God, she has the patience of a serial killer right now. She knows she just got to figure out how.
Dang. I'm gonna go ahead and let them talk. I'm gonna be up here formulating any rebuttals I have.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
What's going on, LaDon? How are you? Hey, girl.
Oh, mute. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
that's
all righty, but this girl. Well, I'm gonna say one thing. I
okay.
am very happy that Mel can be. They all, not just Mel, that they
Mm-hmm.
all can at least do scenes together, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not feeling like so much tension. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I hear
Not feeling like there's so much tension, right?
you.
So I
Mm-hmm.
do like that. You know, I'm not giving Marceau, I know you like to give him a little credit, but I'm not giving him credit for nothing,
Okay.
okay? He just don't want to look like he know he can't come against Mel. Point blank, period. So my thing is him and Tisha with this fake storyline. How
Okay.
about now? But the thing where Tisha didn't expect is the way that they practiced it, he wasn't supposed to respond like that.
Well, you know
So when
what?
he did, mhm,
I was gonna say that's the beauty of it. They do it one way, and he'll come and switch it up.
right, so she's on the other tail end of it. So I don't care
Mhm.
how she feels about it. You look stupid. He always makes you look stupid. You always allow yourself to be the butt of the joke. Why didn't you do a skit where he was the butt of the joke?
Mm.
Like, why you keep letting him put you in a situation where you're going to get bashed, dragged, judged, looked at, and all those other things? You already cried. Nobody don't like me. This is even more of a reason why people don't like you, because you let him play in your face like that in front of the world.
Correct.
So, that's how I feel about their little skit. And she didn't even deliver it right, because if you're gonna watch it again, look at the little smirks when she's saying it. It's
Oh
like
no.
she's reading from a script.
Listen,
She couldn't even really,
I am 100% positive that a lot of that was scripted and that it took
Mhm.
probably a whole lot of retakes in order to get them there. But I also
to get
think that it was probably
Marceau played it good though.
Marcel,
Marceau played it good.
but I also feel like these are conversations that they probably truly did have, and they just decided, let's bring this to the screen and discuss or play out our feelings, because those are real
See, well,
conversations. Hmm.
you're giving them credit. You're still giving them credit. I don't think it was no pregnancy scare at all.
Oh,
At
okay.
all. I don't think it was a pregnancy scare at all, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Alleged. I
Okay.
think that they didn't have anything else and they're grasping for straws.
Well,
And they thought that that was a good idea. And they knew it would make a splash. They knew we were going to talk about it, but Tisha always ends up the one that gets dragged the most. She allows him to put him in that predicament, just like Kimmy. Kimmy allows Maurice to put her in the same. We've been telling you what your mama and sister and them just told you. Why did you let him? And then he want to clean it up like it was a joke. It wasn't no joke. He wasn't joking with you. He asked you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Carlos King does joke, but at that particular time, he was not joking. He asked you a question, and his
Mm-hmm.
facial expression showed you. You answered the way you felt, and now you got to clean it up because that's not a joke.
Right. Right.
You know, so.
Not a joke, and it went on for too long. It went on for too long.
And not only that, people that matter to Kimmy said it, and that's why she now cares because we've been said it, and we were either going too far, taking it too far, we were misreading. She made every excuse in the world when we were saying exactly what her mama and her sister and them said.
Mm-hmm.
She did not. She didn't give them that excuse. She went to him and said, "Now you got to apologize and clean this up because you making me look like." My mother and them said, "Why you still there? Like what's going on over there?"
You're right, and I also think LaDawn. I do think this just because I heard what she had to say in the uncut version. I do think that her and Maurice, excuse me, are going through it.
I believe them on
Mhm.
that end, even though I'm tired of hearing it. I
Mhm.
do believe that because I'm struggling with that. Even though I'm a widower, you would
Mhm.
think I would get a little jump here or there, but I'm going through the premenopause stages, and I don't get an ankling, not a nothing. So I know that women, we go through that, and I'm there right now. I'll be 51 in January. You know,
Mhm.
I think that part is true with them. I'm separating them, their storyline from Tisha and Marceau's now.
Oh
You
no, I
know,
mean,
um,
LaDawn. I mean that they are going through it as in they are the way someone would really need counseling because they're going to break up.
yes, I
It's the
believe
same.
that.
Okay.
I believe that. She's
Okay.
starting to look at him with disgust, like we all been looking at him with disgust. Yes, I believe that. She's
Right.
changed. We've seen it right before our eyes. Kimmy lost herself. She gave up a lot, and he gave up nothing.
Right.
Kimmy
He
ain't
added a
going nowhere,
lot to her
LaDon.
plate. Listen, listen, a woman, every woman got their breaking point. You'd be surprised when your mama and them who you care about, who you have. See, we always say, where's Coleslaw's mama at? There are mothers and family members that do get involved that talk sensitive. There's somebody that can get through to a person, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and with her getting sick like that, and her mother and them talking to her, and she's looking back at it and watching it too, she probably
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, starting to look a little crazy. Like we can't keep doing this now because this
Kimmy's
is
still
stressing
waiting
me
on a
out more.
return. She's still waiting on her return
I believe
investment.
she got hope. If this don't work, this therapy and all this stuff that they trying don't work, because she is holding on to hope. I believe that too. But I do believe that with Kimmy in this relationship, before Tisha would do it, I think Kimmy would do it quicker than Tisha would.
Yeah, we have someone in the chat said, I don't think Tisha Marceau's storyline was fake. She was literally in tears when Marceau was accusing her of cheating.
She cries at
Which,
the drop of a dime. Stop
who do
it.
you
Like,
think
I
I
don't
am?
know.
Who do you think I am? You didn't believe that part? Who do you think I am, Marceau? Who do you think I am, Marceau? That didn't touch you?
Everybody got a right to their opinion. And I said what I said. That girl can cry at a drop of a dime. Everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. I have no friends. No, so sad. I'm so okay, babe. Don't worry about them. That's because you doing it and they ain't. Come
Okay.
on now. She cries at the drop of a dime. I don't believe nothing Letitia say. I don't believe
Okay.
nothing her husband, raggedy old husband, say. None of them. And Kimmy got sucked up in it and allowed them to take who she really is at the core away.
Okay.
Girl, Kimmy been like that.
Okay. 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 Sorry, Tisha. I tried to help, child. Hey, Sarah, I see you back here. I'm going to bring you up. If you would like to put your cam back on, put your screen on, I will wait, or I can just bring you up. Give me a thumbs up if you'd like for me to just bring you up. Hey, Sarah, can you hear me? I'm going to bring you up, okay? All right. Hear me? I'm going to bring you up, okay?
Okay.
All right. Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You need to mute her TV in the background.
Okay, so I need you to put your I don't know why I couldn't get your mic back down, but you got to turn the TV off or whatever it is that you have playing my voice, because it's coming in through the screen as a double. Okay, so turn off everything that is audio. Okay, turn off all your audio and just leave the mic that you have on your phone on. Okay, don't play anything else.
Can you hear me now?
I can, but I'm going to put you on mute until we get finished with LaDon and Simone. Then I'll talk to you. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead, LaDon.
And then with the scene with the hot tub, right? I think Mel is really bringing it, and she is doing her job good. She is letting these girls in a little bit. She's coexisting with them. She's giving them her. But Tisha still had to throw some shade. I'm catching all the shade, even now. When Tisha said, with them sunglasses, you look like Hotel. Like, what are you talking about? Why would you keep putting me with him? Thought we got past this. Once again, why did you have to say, because I got on sunglasses, I look like Hotel? Like, that just doesn't make any sense.
See, listen, when she said that, she just froze like, I want to
It's like, come on.
She wanted to curse her out.
Because it's like, come on now.
It took everything
out.
As
soon as your husband's out the room, because it took your husband to say something. As soon as your husband's out the room, you want to go back to your little sneaky, shady self. And then she had no other choice after Mel gave her that. She had no other choice but to fall in line and be cordial again. But they're all snakes. I still don't trust them, but I like the job that they're doing so far. Just do your job. That's it. All that other stuff, don't make it so hard. Stormy is making herself the outcast. She is deliberately making it difficult for people to get to know her, to try to mingle with her. She's separating herself from the group deliberately on purpose. She can't say nobody's pushing her away. She can't say nobody's trying. She's the one putting herself in the situation to be outcast. She's not trying at all. When they came in, he said, like, at least we made it. We showed up. So just write us our check. We showed up. We don't got to do nothing else but just our presence. We just got to exist. Our presence just got to be here.
Well, we'll
with the
see.
stank face. So
we'll see how that plays out for her. We'll see how it plays out for her. I think that these mashups that he has is probably the best thing that he can have going right now. I'm interested in what they think about the audience. We're going to talk about it. I would love to hear it. I think that they rewrite history sometimes. We all have a habit of doing that sometimes, but she rewrote history when she was talking about the show and what happened, because she was loved when she showed up on this show. She was loved when she came on as Melody's friend. I was like, girl, I used to come over to her lives. She'd have like 700 people on her live.
But that was before we knew that her mother was saying that stuff before she even came on. Well, that's before she switched up and showed the true color. See, that was the first impression. But so her talking over there with her friend, to me, Diana, is just her talking. Doesn't mean all of it is all factual. That's her truth.
Well, no, that's exactly what I said. I like to hear what they're saying, because sometimes they don't think the audience is as smart as we are. And that is part of the problem when people have a hard time on the show, is that they come on thinking that the audience is somebody they can play with, that the fans are someone they can play with. I'm just going to come on and tell you any story. And then when people start saying, oh, I want to hold you accountable for this. Why do you have this going on? Or what else is going, whatever that happens to be, then they are like, stay out of my business. But you drew people into you. You could have stayed offline. You didn't have to tell us any of these stories. You could have came on and said, I'm just getting my feet wet. I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. Y'all can ask me a few questions and I'll try to answer them the best I can, whatever those things are. But she gave us a full story of some things that didn't add up at the end. And and that's unfortunate.
And they think money is enough. I got money. I don't care. I'm cashing checks. I don't care. You do care because you was online too talking about some depression and unaliving and stuff like that, allegedly, in my opinion.
Isn't that true? That's
So
right.
don't act like you so tough now. Don't do
No.
that. That's that fakery again. That's that effery again. Stop it. It would be even nicer if they added a viewer in there with the two. If they added a viewer to be able to ask questions and put them on, that would be even better. Each week a different viewer.
Right. I agree.
All right. Now you can go to the next person.
Okay. Hey, Miss
Unless you got
Simone, how are
something
you?
else to ask.
I'll probably have some in a second. Hey, Simone, how are you?
Good evening, ladies. How are you?
Good.
Honey.
What's your thoughts?
Oh my goodness. Okay, the rating, I'll give it, now we're talking about 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Okay. I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
Maybe no, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
As far as Stormy,
Come on.
that's all I can give because it's too much fakery, too much phony and fakery from too many people going on. I can't give it that much.
Okay, go ahead.
Now the Stormy situation, you have to realize she is the ultimate only child. The ultimate. Like, I'm only child. So it's a difference between being spoiled and well taken care of. She has been spoiled in the way that I can see that she wants her way in every situation, and when she doesn't, she gets the stank face, she gets the stank attitude, she gets stank, and that's how she couldn't go back and forth with Marcel. You don't have to go back and forth with someone like that. She has to walk out on something. So she gets there late with the baby, and of course I understand traveling situations. Babysitter didn't make the flight, blase, but it's just, if all eyes aren't on her, it's a stank face. It's a problem. Something's wrong. Oh, she don't want to do it. She just ain't feeling it. So to me, she's just a extremely spoiled only child. As far as and just phony and fake too. She is fake. She is fake. That sound bowl Stormy, that was fake. Okay, you can't cuss like a sailor and be trying to zen and do sound bowls in the from one season to the next. That was just for show. And to me, honestly, I don't think she's ready for reality TV. She just doesn't know how to act. I think she needs to stick to her businesses. That little situation interview she did with I always mix up the name. Is it Latrice?
Latrice?
I don't know. One,
yeah, Latrice is one of them.
It's Latrice, Letitia. It's so many loves.
Latrice.
Okay. That the way she just made it seem like, most people are pretty happy being on the show. It was just like this was beneath her, just like, like this, I didn't need this. You definitely wanted to be on that show. You let your business tank to be on that show. So don't make it seem like you didn't want to be on that show. So that's part of that fake and phony crap that comes from her. So, 1 minute she's one way, and if things aren't going her way, she's going to give you the stank face. She's going to give you the stank attitude. So, but anyway, enough about her, because she's not bringing anything. Letitia crying, I think that was all made up. That they talked about that on the car ride, what they're going to be talking about, or before the cameras came, that we're going to pretend like you might be pregnant. I think they discussed this, but Marcel's always going to go left on her because he knows her intellect. He says something off the wall that she wasn't prepared for, so she's gonna start crying. That's just what it is. And plus, they have a lot of stuff going on, the lawsuits and all that. She's getting, what she considers attacked online, that fake shampoo. Well, how's this? She got a conditioner with no shampoo. Who the hell? You just selling conditioner and no shampoo? What the hell? Yeah. They white labeling whatever product she putting the kids' label on there. So I think she just I think the tears are real, but I don't think she's crying particularly about that scene. I think she just crying about other stuff. And plus, Marcel knows how to push her buttons. He probably said some words and said some things that they didn't practice in the car ride. You know what I'm saying? I just, she's easy. She's just easy. It's just kind of like rinse and repeat with them. It's just, they don't want to talk about the lawsuits. They don't want to talk about real stuff. So, we're going to throw this pregnancy in there. Although I do know someone who got pregnant after their husband got a vasectomy.
Cut it off now.
So it is, I know the percentages are not high, but it can happen. I know two different people. One couple vasectomy did, work for a period of time, but got pregnant like 8 years later. The other lady had tubes tied, them darn things untied, and she got pregnant. So it can happen, but the percentages are very, very low. As far as who are we talking about now? Martell, why is he there? Why is he there? He just looks stupid. I mean, it's nothing for him to talk about. I mean, him giving advice to, I guess, in next week's show to was it tonight? I was kind of in and out because the Scots bore me. I can't remember if it's next week's episode or this week, but him trying to give advice to Marceau. I mean, it's just two bands talking to each other. Like, what the hell? I mean, it's just, I don't know. Okay. I will give Marceau's better acting than all of them. He's more believable than all of them.
He's a good actor. I like Marceau's acting skills sometimes.
Yeah.
He has good timing. He has good timing.
Yeah, exactly. He has good time, and I will give him that. Kimmy, she has dumped herself down for this couch potato with the title of attorney only. He's an attorney by title only. She's just made herself from season 1 until now. She has dumbed herself down by, I know she's probably trying to adopt the don't emasculate your man situation, but she has made herself look so stupid. Always that whole male identified situation, anything, how he embarrassed the hell out of her, and she's still trying to make excuses for his ass. I mean, come on. I mean, and he's sitting there looking like a deer in headlights. You cannot tell me he passed that attorney's test legitimately. He had some help or something, because I don't believe there's a lot of intellect with him at all, period. I just don't, it doesn't even, he can't even read well. It's something about him is just so unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's like, how can she even get wet for someone like that? Look how he acts. I mean, he's just like a deer. She's trying to talk to him, and he has that look like he can't even understand what language she's talking. And she's just sitting there, when going to the ladies, cutting to the hot tub, making excuses for his ass. I'm like, girl, bye. They need to get off of there. But, Melody always holds it down. She holds it down. You can tell she's feeling more comfortable, and she got Kimmy together. She didn't have to say one word, because, especially with me, if you ask me a dumbass question like that, an insensitive question, and the way she looked at her, Kimmy felt that hot eyes that were glaring on her face from Mel answering that question. She knew not to say another damn word. Okay, asking her about, is that the ring heifer? Why would you even add? They know that whole revenge piece stuff was going on at that time. So she shouldn't even ask her a dang on question about any of that. So, Kimmy is just a snake. She's a snake that dumbed herself down and done refinanced her home for whatever reason. I know that's off the show, but I would never thought she would have reverted backwards from all those season 1 until now, just for him. I'd rather be by my damn self. He's no prize. None of the Scott brothers are prize. None of the men on there besides maybe Fletcher, and I don't know, he was acting a little sketchy to me. And I mean, I like the Fletchers. I like what they've been bringing on those episodes before, but just looking how they were a little bit insensitive to, in my opinion, to Mel. I didn't like kind of how Nell asked that question, and him, acting a little like,
So,
you know,
question you. You don't think that it's possible for people to just kind of fall back into old habits when you're around a group like that? Like if you're not used to, even though you may know it may be at the tip of your brain, we shouldn't do this. Like sometimes it's just human nature to fall back into old habit. Do you not think that's possible?
I'll give them grace. Okay, I'll give them grace, and I agree. I can see that's possible, but not on the heels of the revenge piece stuff. Right
Oh,
there, that should have been in your forefront. Now, if they've been drinking, okay, I'll give it to them. But I know what I want to touch on. How dare that little troll hotel brings a stranger to that house? How
oh,
dare he? And it's not about no Melanie situation. It's about I'm about my safety. When I go out of town, I don't like a lot of group stuff, but if I'm with people, my safety is important. You know how many I had a friend, unfortunately unalive, because he met some trick at the club and they were supposed to go home, and she had two Negroes waiting out in the car and set him up. Okay. Came in there, did what they did, and bounced. Okay. You don't, and who knows if he met this trick at the airport, or when maybe he stopped at a bar or something and had her come over. I think, did they have the time that on the screen when Maurice was tiptoeing around trying to spy on him? But did they put the time
2
what
a.m.
day it was? Was
Yeah,
it like 2 o'clock in the morning or something?
I think so.
That was, to me, that was, I don't play. They too dang old. This ain't like, the real world or some shit. This is real life. You know how many people get set up like that? You bring home some girl like that. Come on, have some Negroes out in the car waiting to come in there and rob every damn body. That's just, I'm sorry.
It
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
smart.
That was poor. And the way Chris was like, oh, it's no big deal. This ain't no college frat crap. This ain't college. What the hell? But
You
anyway,
tell
I'm
him,
sorry.
Simone. You tell him, Simone, child.
I mean,
Oh,
but seriously, y'all, I mean, think about that. You know what I mean? I trust y'all. I came with y'all, not some airhead that you done met at the club and you want to screw around with. I trust y'all. You don't bring not in my, not And I think one of you guys were talking about, you might feel comfortable leaving your purse amongst the group, but then you bring some stranger, they come in there and rob your ass blind.
that's
But
right.
anyway, sorry.
That's right. That's right. You said it. I
But
agree. And I
that,
would be very uncomfortable walking into a space that I thought was for us and then
mhm.
wake up the next day and find out you brought somebody else in there. That's not cool.
No, because you don't know. I mean, if you're a sound sleeper, what if they creep in your room, start looking through your stuff, or maybe they just a crazy person and come in there and hurt somebody.
Could
You
have
know what
waited
I
for
mean?
Marcel to go to sleep and then mess the whole house up. That's
Exactly.
right. We watched time.
That's just irresponsible. That just shows you how irresponsible that Negro is. It just shows you how he does not think. Tiptoeing out in the pandemic where we didn't know if we was going to live or die. And I'm sorry, panorama. If we didn't know we was going to live and die, making a whole nother kid and coming back to your family and possibly infecting them. I mean, where I live, it was people dropping like flies. Do you hear me?
Oh, wow.
Dropping like flies, and he could care less about his family. But it's just his MO. That's just what he does. He doesn't think. That's why I say he's a dumbass. But anyway,
You're right.
sorry.
Right. That's okay. Listen, you got to get it off your chest. You did, child.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
See, let me get Miss Sarah on. Hey, Miss Sarah, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are
Good,
you?
good. I'm good. What's your thoughts on tonight's show, episode 29? Did you like the girls getting together and, feeling like a cohesive group?
So before I say anything, I just want to bring a little comedy to the scene real quick.
Yes.
So remember when Kenya Moore, she was on Housewives, and her and what's her name? Bailey, Miss Bailey was
Cynthia.
doing Miss Bailey was going in to get her stuff done, right? And Kenya Moore screamed out, "It is!"
What? What happened now? She went to get
So
done.
Cynthia Bailey, so it was Kenya Moore and Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia was getting her breasts redone. Okay.
Oh,
I'm trying to be very careful about what I'm saying because I don't know what can be, you know,
that's okay.
I don't know the rules. Okay. So I'm trying to bring a little comedy. On Housewives, Kenya Moore and Cynthia Bailey was at a little place and she was trying to get her itties redone.
Okay.
And remember when Kenya Moore screamed out, "Itties!"
Itties? Oh my
She
goodness.
said titties. That was at the doctor's office.
Right. I'm
Okay.
saying that because I'm looking at this picture and all I see is an itty. We got a whole breast that's out there. I don't know if anybody ever said anything about it, but that's all I see in this picture. I cannot see nothing else.
Okay, you're talking about Tisha then.
No, no, ma'am, not at all.
Oh, you're
I'm talking about a straight whole itty. I see a itty with
Kimmy?
with the nipple. Yes, with the nipple out and all. Can I say nipple?
Oh, you talking about
Baby, she got a whole nipple out. And she trying to hide it with her hand, but it's not. And I'm telling you, every time I see this picture, it grabs my whole eye. Just see the whole picture. I see nothing but an itty sitting out at me, screaming.
Okay. All right, girl. Listen, I'm laughing, okay, but I'm like, what are you talking? Now I do see it, okay. I do see it a little bit.
I was like, let me bring a little comedy, but I don't know if that's been ever spoken about or not. But every time I see that picture, I literally see the itty. Like I'm like straight up, like, oh my God, like is anybody else seeing this or is it just me? And I don't like women. I got a whole fiance, so I'm over here like, is it just me doing this?
Oh my God. Okay, child. Tell me what you think about the show, okay?
Okay, so for me, the show was maybe like everyone's saying a 6. And I think it's because they're holding out till they get to the real stuff. Because I think they're literally drawing everything out. I do like Mel is doing more talking, and I don't think it's because she's trying to be more open with the ladies. I honestly think she's just so fed up because of everything that just happened. And she might, in a little bit part of her mind, feel like maybe they understand a little bit better now, even though we know these are two women that kind of, even when she was going through stuff the first time with the divorce, they just never seem to really reach out enough, if you will. Not even reach out enough, but to me, it seemed like they just didn't care. And so I think that now, though, because of what occurred, that has not nowhere near been aired or anything like that, but it's more of, I think she just feel like I just don't care no more. He's really lost it. So I'm just, I just don't care. At this point, they just should be just glad I'm here. So yeah, I'm gonna give them a show to talk about. All right. And so I think that's really what it is. I don't think it's more of, her trying to be okay with the ladies and then getting a better place. I really just feel like she's at that if it stage. Like I'm too done with all of this. If that makes sense. So I really can't give a what's the word? I can't give anything on those scenes, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think the men was just being the men like they normally are. I think the situation with Tisha, like everybody else said, she brought it up because she had gotten sick and thinking, oh, this could be something that can take everybody's mind off of the allegations about my husband, and it blew up in her face. I believe she was truly hurt. I
Okay.
believe she know her husband, but I think that she still, for whatever reason, because that, you know, that's why she's standing next to him. She just she still don't, she know him, but she don't know him in that way because she's never really tried to cover for her like he covers for Melody. And I think that's one of the issues of why she got this hate, or that she had. Who knows, they may be in a better place now, but that's why she has this hate, because he will cover for her more than he has ever covered for, you know, his own wife. So
So
Mhm.
I will say
I'm so,
this. Sorry about that. I'll say
you know, you
this,
fine.
Miss Sarah. At the end of the day, when Melody said, I know what it feels like not to be protected, and then you have those other two women whose husbands do not protect them. That's the common theme of those three men, Martel, Marceau, and Maurice. They don't know how to protect their wives or their family. And for Melody to say, I know what it felt like, I know all too well. And, you know, I'm not telling you what to do or how to handle it. At least that's not what they showed of her. But showing those other ladies be as vulnerable to whatever attack that Maurice or Marceau put on them without thinking twice says a lot. It shows why they were all friends in the first place. They're all
Right.
in the same cloth.
And I agree. I just feel like it's really starting to show more now, especially with Kimmy. And we're starting to get more from Kimmy, as well as, well, Tisha. Let me not use nobody else's name they made up for. She's just gonna stand by her husband regardless, but it hurts for her when she see him taking up for Melody. And I just don't think that's gonna ever change, because it's really not about Melody, it's about her husband.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to see what happens next week, I think. We'll see what they do with these team building exercises. We'll also get a chance to see Kiki and her, you know, what happens next. I know a lot of people are interested in that story. So, yeah, at the end of the day, y'all had some really interesting thoughts over here in the chat. I've been reading some of those things. So if you guys are coming in late, be sure to go back, rewind the chat. They kept it jumping over here. And we are going to, if you guys have any other final thoughts, we're going to sign out, okay? Did y'all have any last things you wanted to add to this?
Thanks for having me up, Diana.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I
Everybody,
just
Well,
wanted to say,
Diana,
go ahead.
Sarah, what were you going to say, Sarah?
No, I was just going to say thank you so much for having me up, but thank you for the insight you give, because there are things that I don't see until I get your recap. And then I go back and I'm like, wait a minute, she's right. So I just want to say that I do get a lot. I make sure I come to your recaps for sure, just for that reason. So I hate that you kind of nervous, or not nervous, but kind of sad that no one wants to give it a higher number. But you know,
No,
it's just, it is what it is.
the end of the day, these that cast is blessed. They are on season 7. Like I said in a
Yes.
video I did earlier, Melody took this from a seed to a full tree. So
Yes.
it has been really wonderful to have been a part of something that grew to this level, even though it's very controversial. I still believe that, but a lot of people are watching and hanging in there, and we like to see these people evolve into, you know, bigger and better. So you guys have been amazing as always. I love having you on. Love talking to you guys. My sister and I are going to drop, of course, our sister review. I think it's easier for us to do it on Friday as opposed to the very next day. So I will do a separate one, and then my sister and I will give one on Friday. And outside of that, y'all, we're just going to keep paying attention to everything that is still going down in these YouTube streets. Y'all been paying attention to all of it, okay?
Good
But
Lord.
thank every single
all
one of
right,
you
good
guys.
night.
Yes, good night. Thank
Good
every single
night.
one of y'all for coming over and spending your Saturday with me. And yeah, I cannot wait to do it again next week. But until then, make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? Let me drop you down. Make sure that you guys hit that like button, the subscribe button, share the video, of course. And yeah, that's it. Talk to me in the comments, okay? And I will see you all on the next one. Thank you to all of my mods too. You guys are always amazing. Thank you to all of my moderators, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.